This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. You. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast. On the heels of a horrific day, we just had the news of Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? No police officers being charged, which is some bullshit. So I just want to give my condolences to the family. And once again, like you always hear on this podcast, fuck Daniel Cameron and fuck the police. But anyway, we have a guest today. She is our first international guest from the fashion district of the world to the streets of Oakland. And when I say fashion district of the world, I mean Paris. Welcome, Fatiha. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm saying it right, right? Fatiha?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are from Paris, correct?
I am, yeah. I was born and raised in France.
Born and raised in France?
Mm-hmm.
But not the city of Paris?
No, I've always worked there, but I've never lived there.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't too far, like 30 minutes.
What was
Paris.
the name of the town that you lived in?
Acher.
Acher?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was 30 minutes from like the actual city of Paris?
Yeah.
And so was that?
So Paris is just the place you go to work and party
Mm-hmm.
and shop.
So I've been to Paris, and that's like the only place that I would live if I move out of the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's amazing. But the people told me that none of the locals like actually live in that little circle inside of Paris. Everyone lives on the outskirts.
Yeah, because
they
is
can't afford it.
Like San Francisco here.
Mm-hmm.
So people live outside Paris. And actually, I like it better outside because it's a little more quieter.
Mm-hmm.
And and then you can just go to Paris whenever you want to be there. It's not that far, so makes it convenient.
When did you come to the States?
I came the end of 99. 1999, yeah.
And what did you come for?
Actually, I was unemployed then. And I got laid off, and I wanted to go travel for a year in Southeast Asia, go backpacking. And my younger brother was gonna come to LA. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to convince him to come with me, but he was stubborn. So he went to LA, and a few days later, I followed him to LA.
Oh, so he came to the States before you?
Yeah, just a few days.
Is he still in the States?
No, he went back to home. He didn't like it here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. Everybody that lives in other countries think, "Oh, America is so beautiful," and then they get here and then they're like, "Oh, this place is just as bad. Why the fuck?"
It was the opposite take for me because I didn't want to come here. I went to New York and Miami before that on vacation. So I think I was fine. I didn't want to come back. But I just followed my brother and actually loved San Francisco and Oakland. So I ended up
So you visited San Francisco before you moved here?
No.
Like, did you visit the Bay Area before you moved?
I came on vacation and I ended up staying.
Oh, you were on vacation and you never went back?
Yeah.
What was the first place that you visited in the States when you came to America?
It was Miami.
Miami?
Mm-hmm.
How long did you stay there?
Probably 3 weeks. I don't remember exactly, but about 3 weeks.
And then went back to Paris?
Then went back to France and came back to New York When was that? That was a while ago.
So New York was the second place.
Yeah.
And then the third time you came back, you stayed.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Paris for jobs?
I was a salesperson in a department store.
What department store? Gucci?
Galerie Lafayette.
Huh?
Galerie Lafayette. On, the Haussmann Boulevard.
That street where all the fancy stores are, like Fendi and Gucci and all that shit?
No, that's Champs-Élysées.
Okay.
But there's like 2 department store. It's not far from the opera.
What's the opera?
Opera.
The opera.
Yeah, opera.
Oh.
It's my accent.
Okay.
So it's not far from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked there a few years. And I went also work in a department store across the street from it, which is called Printemps.
Mm-hmm. What was life like growing up for you in Paris? What were were your parents married?
Yeah, my parents, not anymore, but they were married for a long time. They both first generation immigrant from Algeria.
From where?
Algeria.
Algeria?
North Africa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so growing up, how can I say? It was fun because I come from a family of 6 kids, so there was always something going on.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up like my at home it was influenced by my Algerian culture. So I grew up, even though I was in France, I grew up in an Algerian culture. And
what's Algerian culture?
Explain that. My parents that doesn't practice Muslim religion, but it's I will say that the culture is inspired by it, if I make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was a lot of things I wasn't allowed to do growing up.
Like what?
As a girl, you don't have that much freedom.
You can't drink, can't smoke, you can't date.
Exactly. All of it.
But did you sneak and do it?
Yes, all of it. And because it was hard growing up, you have French friends and they go out, they party, they're allowed to do things you're not allowed to do.
Yeah.
So you don't really understand, why. And I mean, you understand why, but you feel like it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And life was easier for me because I was number 5 out of 6 kids. And I had 2 older sisters, and I felt like they didn't have the freedom I had. But my parents will be becoming more tolerant as they were spending more time in France.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little easier for me. And as I got older, I think at around 18, 20 years old, then, because I was still living with my parents then, I had more freedom. Because as a woman, you're not supposed to leave your parents' house unless you're married, to live on your own. And but I did not get married, and I left.
So what's the ratio of your siblings?
What do you mean?
Like how many sisters and brothers do you have?
So I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers.
And both of your sisters stayed in the house till they were married?
Yes. They got married at an early age. So, yes.
What's an early age?
20.
20?
Yeah, about 20.
Are they still married?
One of them, yes. The other one, no.
So divorce is not a big deal?
It was, for my parents' generation, but not for our generation, no.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my parents did get divorced.
So where are your parents at now?
So my parents are both in France. My dad actually went and retired in Algeria, but he's stuck with because of the COVID-19. The borders are closed, so he can't go back to Algeria right now. So he's been in France since the lockdown.
Well, does he want to go back to Algeria?
Yes.
Why?
Well, he has a wife in Algeria.
Your dad?
Yes. He's remarried. So, and then, it's been a few years now that it's been living there. So it's just bored that, in France, it doesn't have much to do.
What about your mom's?
My mom, she don't want to go back to Algeria. She wants to stay close to her kids because all my relatives lives in France. I'm the only one here.
Okay. So what was school like in your country?
So school was right next to my house, like 2 houses down, which was too close. Because she's looking at what time you made it home. You have no excuse to be late or anything.
Yeah.
And but it was fun. I had a lot of my cousins going to the same school, and the kids from the neighborhood from my culture. So because I grew up mostly with the Algerian kids. It was like a whole neighborhood where we are all living very close to each other.
Was everybody was like all the women in what do you call them, where you got to cover your face and all that shit? Were teenagers in your school dressed like that?
No, I never. Even my mom, she never cover her head. She never was hijab or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we never. And even back in Algeria back then, you didn't have to cover up only your hair, but you didn't have to. That's something that came up later. I believe after like the 90s.
Okay.
So I never had to deal with any of that. I was wearing whatever I wanted to. My parents were really open about that. Could wear short, mini skirt, whatever. It
so do you think high schools in Paris are like the same as high schools here?
I don't know because I've never been to school here.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to compare.
What was your high school like?
High school, I had a little too much fun in high school. And it was great. Yeah.
Like, I mean, what did you guys have a prom and basketball
teams
and all that shit?
No. We don't have we don't support like our teams or anything. It's not a big thing there. Like that's something. If you really want to be on a team, you build that outside of school. It's not really at school.
Did you have a boyfriend in high school?
I was a tomboy for a long time. And I was not really interested in having a boyfriend. It was more like I was building friendship. I was more interested of that. And so, no, I didn't. It was later.
What year did you finish high school?
Oh, I have to do math.
Like in the 80s?
Yeah. Yes, 80s. In the 80s.
So after high school, what did you do? Did you go to college?
I went, a couple of years too.
In Paris?
Yeah. And no, still in the suburb.
But out there in your country, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, school was college free there?
It wasn't really college. It was actually, I don't know how you call that here, the schools. They teach you a career. So, and I was there for 4 years and it was free, yes. It's public school.
What did you study?
Fashion and sewing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you always been into fashion?
Yes, I always loved it.
Yeah, because that's big. Fashion is like really big out there, right?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah.
I remember when I was out there, it was all about. I love the way the women dress in Paris because they wear like fancy coats and shit.
Yeah, everybody dress up. Like even if you go and go buy a baguette, like you cannot go out with your pajamas.
Everyone's sitting outside just watching people and shit.
Yeah.
The only bad thing I can say about the people out there is they fucking smoke too much. They smoke too many cigarettes.
I agree. It's always in your face.
It's everywhere.
Horrible. Even back then, I don't know when you went, but back then it will be, you go to a restaurant and it will be no separation. One side of the restaurant is smoking and the other one is not smoking, but it's smoky everywhere.
Yeah.
So clubs, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all over, so that's a good thing.
What was your favorite club in Paris?
I don't remember the name. We were going to we had like private parties. Having parties. Clubbing, it was sometimes challenging because they wouldn't let some of my friends in. Sometimes it was a racial problem. Yeah. And so they will say the girls can get in, but not the guys, which was stupid. Like you're gonna come in without your friends. Mm-hmm. So we didn't go out in clubs all the time. Sometimes we're just having parties, or you will rent a space and have a party. Mm-hmm. And that was much more fun, I think.
When you were growing up, do you think you saw more racism in your country, or do you think there's more racism here in America?
I think it's both as much, I would say, except that here it's way more violent than it is there. In France, you have often problem to find a job because of your race, or yes, you have confrontation with police, but people don't get shot like they get shot here, randomly. Yeah.
I remember when I was in Paris, you guys have the most complicated fucking train system.
You think so?
Hell yeah. That shit. If you don't know, because everything is in French and you can't read anything.
There's no English? I never paid attention.
Fuck no. And then there's tunnels within tunnels.
Oh yeah, the tunnels are horrible.
It's so confusing. The only reason I made it around is because I was with a girl who was from Paris. Okay. So she knew what she was doing. But when we were getting on the trains, I would see police harassing the black kids.
Yeah, they over there they're allowed to ask you ID for no reason.
Yeah, but they didn't. I would be walking next to one of the black kids, and the black kids out there are African. They're French Africans. And then we will be walking side by side from each other, but they'll grab him and let me go because they know I'm American. Yeah. So they wouldn't fuck with me because because you can tell that if I'm walking around Paris, even though I'm black, you can tell that I'm a black.
You're a tourist.
Yeah. You can just look at me and tell the difference. I don't know. But they wouldn't fuck with me because I was American. And I just noticed that. I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it happens all the time. They ask for your ID, then they can search you, Mm-hmm. They have the right to do that. Even when you're driving, they can stop you for no reason. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you, when was the last time you went back to Paris?
I was there in August last year.
Mm-hmm. Has your family ever came out here to visit you?
Yeah, a few of them, not everybody. My sister comes pretty often, and my niece, they're the one coming in a regular. And I went there last year, also went to Portugal. I try to when I go there, I try to also visit another country. So I feel like I had a vacation. Yeah. Because home is not pretty, it's home. I miss my family a lot. So yeah. I have, unfortunately, I have to choose if I'm going to take a trip or if I'm going to go visit my family because of the time and the money as well. I can usually afford to do both. Yeah. So my son and I, we both went last summer. Okay.
When did you learn English before you came to the States?
I did a little bit at school, but I would say most of it I've learned here, just talking with people. Yeah. I feel like I'm still learning today. I'm always learning something.
Was your English good when you went to Miami for the first time?
No. I could just enough to get around because I always loved to travel. So I was always making effort to try to communicate with people. Yeah. And, but it wasn't really, I couldn't really have a whole conversation in English. Mm.
So when you left Paris and when you came to the States, when you came to, were you in San Francisco or Oakland first?
I was staying in San Francisco in a hostel.
Okay. And you were on a visa, I believe?
I was on a tourist visa.
A tourist visa, and when did that run out?
3 months.
2 months. Are you?
After 3 months.
I mean, you're good now, right?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So I can ask you immigration questions. So how did you become? Did you file for like what, citizenship or?
I got married.
Oh, you got married.
I met somebody. We got married and had a kid.
Okay. How fast did that happen? Was it a real marriage or was it just like a marriage?
No, it was real.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have a kid with somebody just for the papers.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was real. It didn't last long, but it was real.
How long did it last?
Well, I was with him, let's say, for like maybe 2.5 years, and I was married for 6 months.
Why'd you guys break up?
I would say it was, there was a culture difference. I always thought that, being a couple with the two different culture, there will be, it would be like, I cannot say that word. It will teach you something, learn something, it will be rich,
Yeah.
But, actually we did not understand each other.
He was black, right?
Yeah.
African or just American black?
African American.
Like from Africa?
From here.
Oh, okay.
And, so yeah, we did not understand each other in a lot of, points. And
so all this started to arise after you guys got married? You didn't know all this shit before you got married?
No, because there was also a language barrier. My English wasn't, I wasn't confident with my English. It wasn't that great. So I think they will think that I may have missed because of that. Yeah. That I could have, seen if my English was great. So it was just, it took a while to realize that we're not made for each other. I mean, it took a while, yes and no, but,
Did you get pregnant before you got married? Or after?
Yes, before. Before, yeah.
Is he still involved with the child?
Yes.
Okay. What's your son's name?
Hevis.
How old is he?
He's 16.
Does he speak French?
He's bilingual, yeah. Completely bilingual.
That's good. Does he want to go back to Paris?
No. He's been there quite a while because when he was younger, I used to send him every summer so he could get some of the culture, of my culture. So I made sure I sent him there. And, but after, I think he was 10 years old where he didn't want to go anymore. Yeah. So, yeah. And now he still doesn't want to go. I'm trying to have him go to college there because it's cheaper or free.
Yeah, he's crazy if he doesn't want to. And all the girls will be on him.
That too. But I don't want to talk with him about that.
All right. So you,
excuse me.
You came here, and then what were you doing how fast did you find a job when you?
So I struggled probably for a month and a half. And then I start working. After that, I've, in a restaurant industry. A lot of the French community works, in the restaurant industry. Yeah. So, actually I've met an American, guy. His name is Scott. He's a great guy. And, he's the one that introduced me to them. And he told me I have to meet those people. And that's how I'm going to find a job. And it happened just like he said it will. Yeah. So I'm very grateful I had him. It's good, sometimes you meet people that make your life different, particularly when you're in a foreign country. Yeah. So each time I meet somebody foreigner, I try to do that to help them too, because I've been in those shoes. And it's not easy.
You didn't want to get a job in the fashion industry since you had all this history? Or did you just choose that because it was easy?
I just chose that because it was easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing fashion? Because you're a designer now, right?
I do it as a hobby, to be honest with you. I'm just start doing it now a little bit more since the COVID. Yeah. So hopefully I can I can do something will happen, make something happen.
And what type of clothing do you design?
Mostly women clothes.
Like shirts, skirts, and all that shit?
Yeah, dresses. And lately I've been upcycling stuff. So,
recycling?
Yeah, I buy something vintage or a thrift, and then I change it. Sometimes I use the fabric.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just do some alteration and I make it more modern. So yeah, I like doing that.
Do you have a name for your work or no?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
I'm working on it.
You're working on a line?
Yeah. Not on a line, but on a name.
Okay. That's good. Do you think, how do you think the fashion is in the States? Is it better than the Paris fashion or?
It got better. It was really bad when I got here.
The fashion?
Well, yeah, people were not, you wouldn't see, it felt to me like people didn't really care what they were wearing. Like
I mean, you can say Americans don't know how to dress. You can say that.
Okay. But what I like though about San Francisco is people like would not be afraid to express their style. So some people would do that to the extreme. And actually coming from France, it was like refreshing because I was like, oh, maybe I didn't like it, but they're expressing themselves.
I mean,
it's a form of art, I believe.
You're being polite.
No, it's true. I mean,
I don't think none of these motherfuckers know how to dress. You go to Berkeley, it's the worst. You got all these hippies, hair everywhere.
Yeah.
They fucking, these white people are walking around with their kids looking like they made clothes out of curtains and shit.
Well, sometimes the kids are wearing pajamas. They go to school with it.
Berkeley people dress the worst. And then San Francisco, it's like motherfuckers riding bikes all day and they all sweaty and nasty. And in Oakland, you still got motherfuckers sagging their pants with the dirty ass underwear and shit showing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So yeah, Paris is like.
Yeah, everybody. It's like as I tell my son, it's part of education. I try to teach him that you go to places, people are gonna see you. You need to dress like you cannot just like leave however. Yeah. And so I'm trying to teach my son that.
Is he into fashion?
No, not at all. I mean, he has his own, little style, but I didn't. I thought I will inspire him more, but or maybe he's a teenager, so maybe later. But right now, no, not really.
Okay.
Just put a sweatpants and a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is you're single? I mean, fresh off a divorce. When did you get divorced?
Oh, no, that was in 2007. So that was a long time ago.
So how was the dating scene when you became?
Well, I didn't really have time after that because my son was 3. I think he was 3.5 years old. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really have time to date, or I didn't have a babysitter. I had to work when I didn't have him, and so it was challenging. So for a while, I didn't date. Then I started going out by myself because I wouldn't do that before.
That's an easy way. You met a shit ton of people that first night, didn't you?
Well, I already knew the people, some people, because I live downtown. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, it's a great way to meet people. But at first I was a little nervous because I didn't want people to judge me, being a woman at the bar by yourself. They may have some assumption, but I don't really give a shit what people think. Mm-hmm. So
do you feel men in America are more aggressive than the men in Paris?
No.
Okay.
I feel like they're more open. It's easier to make conversation. Mm-hmm. But I haven't been in France for so long that I don't even know how it is like anymore.
Yeah. I mean, were you...
And growing up, you go out with your friends, so you don't really meet people.
So you didn't date anyone in Paris when you were, I mean, not in Paris, but in your country when you were living?
I never lived in, you mean Algeria?
Yeah, Algeria.
I never lived there.
No, not Algeria, but when you were in France, when you were living.
I dated, I dated somebody for 4 years. I think I was 19 or 18. Mm-hmm. And so I had like long relationships. Yeah.
Do women in France, is it normal for like young women, like girls, like 16-year-olds and 15-year-olds to date grown men? Is that frowned upon? Because I feel like the women out there, I feel like that is not a big deal in other countries, like especially Barcelona.
I think it was in my generation. Like people would definitely, talk about you or, but maybe now it isn't anymore.
Like if you were 16 and you told your dad, hey, I have a boyfriend and he's 27.
Well, I couldn't even tell my dad I had a boyfriend no matter how old he was. But I don't think he'd be okay with, unless, and in my culture, you bring a man at home only if you're going to marry him. Yeah. You don't bring a boyfriend at home. So. Okay. I think if I had bring somebody older and I was going to get married, I doubt that it would, it will be against it. Mm-hmm. As long as the guy was serious and. Mm-hmm. But in fact, in my culture, it happens a lot that older men marry a younger woman. Yeah. So. Okay. But growing up, you wouldn't see a lot of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think I met anybody that had a relationship with a way older man. I knew somebody, but she was forced to marriage. Oh, damn. Yeah, that was sad. She just stopped going to school one day, and I asked around where she was, and she was married with like an older man, like way older, I think 20 years older.
Do you believe in forcing women to be married?
No.
That's good.
No, it's horrible. I feel like also when you grow up in France, even though you have a different background, you shouldn't be forced to do the this kind of thing because your parents actually choose to live in a different country where the culture is different. So I feel like they should be more open-minded on what the kids are gonna live and experience, and they cannot push on them to follow the culture of another country. Mm-hmm. Particularly when it's extreme, like getting married to somebody you don't know, and that's like 20 years older than you. It's not even about the age. Like she didn't know, because you can fall in love with somebody older or younger. Yeah. But she didn't know that man. That was the issue.
It was just a stranger that just popped up.
Yeah. He asked his family to marry the girl, and they accepted. Damn. So she didn't know him. They didn't have a relationship before marriage. Nothing. She was just like taken out of school, literally. She didn't even stay until the end of the year school. Mm-hmm. They took her out of school. They married her.
And you never saw her again?
I did. We for some reason, I don't know why we stopped talking. I mean, I didn't see her for years because I was here too. And one day, when I went back visiting my family, I ran into her and we just like kind of like shook our heads. But,
so you don't know if she's still married to the same guy?
No, she's divorced. I heard. She got divorced, I think when she was, financially independent, or the kids have grown, because she had kids right away. Mm-hmm. She had like 2 kids right away after, getting married. So.
What other, things in your culture do you don't agree with?
It's mostly about, women's rights. Like women are not allowed to do a lot of things. So that's mostly my problem with the culture.
Do you still stay current with things that are going on in France?
No.
Okay. So if I asked you, like, is there anything that's going on politically in France, you wouldn't know anything about it?
No.
Okay. You don't care to know?
Yeah, I don't.
Is
And
that
sometimes I don't actually, I try not to watch the news because it's depressing.
Yeah.
So I don't really follow anything that's happened there unless I heard it from my family when I talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't follow politics.
Do you follow politics in America?
No.
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 You're just a
Same thing. I don't want to.
just a gypsy, huh?
Yeah. And it's been so bad. Like, what would you? I can't watch that.
Yeah.
Like, how I'm gonna sit there and just watch?
I mean,
It's terrible.
You should watch a little bit to know what the fuck is going on.
I don't
What
even
if they
have to
come
watch
up with a
little
law?
bit because I can, I hear, I talk with my friends.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit, but.
Okay. All right. So who are like some of your fashion icons that you look up to?
I have a few. Yeah, I don't just like one designer. It depends of the collection they come out with. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. So
are you into those high-end fashion brands like Gucci and Fendi and all that shit?
If I buy it, no. I can afford it, and I think it's way. Even if I don't know.
Well, affording it, let's take that out the scenario. But I'm just saying, do you like the way that that shit looks?
Yes, some of it, as I say, depends of the collection. But yeah, I get inspiration from it.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think it looks hideous.
Really?
Yeah,
all of it.
All of that shit. Like I just saw an article. I was like scrolling through Instagram, and then someone put up Gucci is coming out with these jeans that look like they got grass stains on them.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
So but as I say, I don't like.
They're just regular fucking jeans that look like you were rolling around in the grass and got a green stain on them, and they're $700. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's why I would never, spend. I don't have designer bags or anything like that. Like I think it's so stupid to spend so much money on that.
Yeah. And those companies are racist like a motherfucker anyway. So
and it's the people that buy it, they don't even have that much money.
The people that buy it
instead of buying a car, they go buy a Louis Vuitton. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. Save your money, buy a house, invest. I don't know.
Especially black people who buy that shit. They think because they just want to buy it just for social status.
Yeah, it's trendy.
But they don't know that these motherfucking designers that design that shit don't even want you wearing their clothes. You know what I'm saying?
So no, I don't own anything that's like from a designer unless it's vintage and I find it.
So you're like a thrift store girl.
Yeah.
Do you shop in the hate a lot?
No, no. I shop a little bit everywhere, all the thrift stores.
What's your go-to thrift store that you usually go to?
Which one?
Your go-to thrift store.
I like Goodwill.
Goodwill?
Yeah.
Why do you go to Goodwill? There's so many like thrift places.
No, but also because I used it for the fabric.
You find good shit in the Goodwill?
Shit that I repurpose.
Oh, okay. Is that shirt from the Goodwill?
But otherwise I do, no, this one is from Crossroads.
Oh, Crossroads.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I sell and buy fashion online and used. Yeah.
Where do you sell fashion online at?
Poshmark.
Poshmark?
Yeah, and Mercury. There's two of them.
Okay. And you're also making masks currently, right?
I am, yes.
Is there anything special about your mask that people can say, oh, I'd rather buy your mask?
Yeah, because they're comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah. They have the string in the back and it's not elastic. It's I use a different, I don't have one right now, but I use a different material. It's super comfortable. You don't feel it.
Yeah.
And when you don't wear it, you just can pull it down, wear it around your neck. You don't have to touch it so much. And, when it's behind the ear, you got to grab it, put it away, put it back constantly.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that with mine. And it's cotton. It's 100% cotton. So, it doesn't keep the warmth. It lets your skin breathe.
So you say you lost your your job, right? 'Cause
Yeah, I lost my two jobs.
This COVID shit?
I was a bartender and I was waiting on tables.
What bar did you work at?
I was working in a French restaurant in San Francisco as a bartender there.
What's the name
in
of
Glen
it?
Park. It's called Le Petit Laurent.
Okay.
And I was working here downtown Oakland at Mockingbird.
Both places shut down?
Yep.
Yeah. They don't have they don't have plans to reopen since
Mockingbird,
things are like starting to open up.
Mockingbird is opening for to go only.
So they don't have like outdoor seating or anything?
There's a space that because they just closed 13th Street and made some outdoor sittings there.
Yeah.
But I think they removed everything, all the tables during COVID. And it's not actually part of the restaurant. So, but she don't want to do serving anyway. She just want to do takeout.
And that's the same for the other place?
The other place, I don't really know what's going on. I haven't been I called him once and he didn't tell me anything about the business. So I just check on him if everything was fine.
Yeah.
But so far, nothing.
What do you think? Do you have any plans on like if shit doesn't?
So yes, actually, I'm trying to do. So one thing I try to do is to do alteration on clothes.
You're like be like a freelance person.
I will do it at home, and
I think
it's something people will always need, and
yeah,
I can build my customers, and I don't know if it'll be enough, but that would be a start.
Is it hard for you right now to be a single parent?
No.
Okay.
I think it's hard to be a single parent, period, but
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but is it
it's
extra hard right now because
it's not
everything is
now.
closed and all that shit?
No.
Maybe
if I had a young kid. But my son is 16, so, he's pretty independent.
Is he back in school?
No. He's doing school from homeschool.
How do you feel about homeschool?
How do I feel about it?
Yes.
I
feel like it's a waste of time because
I don't like it. I don't think he learns as much as being in class.
Yeah.
And I don't think he can focus as much. And I try not to pressure him too much because, it's hard. Like, you're at home for hours in front of the computer. So I try to be understanding but at the same time, I need to like motivate him and try to do, push him, try to do better. But I check on him, mostly about, how he feels, like, mentally, if he needs support, if he needs to see some friends, because he doesn't see a lot of people. So I check on his mental health too, make sure everything is okay, and because it's hard, for all of us.
Or do you consider yourself a socialite? You know what that is?
I think so.
What do you think it is?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'll listen to you first. No, tell me.
I mean, it's just a person who like goes out all the time and fucking knows everybody. So
yes, I am. But sometimes I'm unsocial too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I like being by myself a lot, but I need my social time.
Which one do you like more?
I need both.
Equally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite places to go to in Oakland?
I like the Miranda. It's a bar on Broadway.
Oh, yes. Across the street from Hello Stranger. Yeah. Why do you like that place so much?
Well, I'm very comfortable there. I've been going for a while, and I know most of the staff. So when I get off work from my job in the city, I come here. and I stop there for a bit, and then I go home later and sleep. But I usually can sleep right away after work, so I stop there. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't. I don't necessarily go to talk to people. Just need to wind down before I go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's my favorite place. Yeah. Sometimes I like to go there for happy hour when I'm not working.
Mm-hmm.
I always have somebody to chat with if I want to talk. So it's nice. It feels home too. It's comfortable.
Okay. All right. Well, this is part of the interview where I can let you promote. It's basically like the promote hour. So if you want to tell like the thousands of people who listen to this where they can find you on Instagram, your Poshmark, since you're selling clothes, give that information so they can go buy some shit. And whatever else you want to promote right now.
I'm not ready right now to promote fully. So
Nothing?
well, I can promote my Instagram and my
What if someone wants some masks?
What's that?
What if someone wants to buy some masks from you? Where do they go?
I don't sell them online yet.
No? Okay.
Yeah, because I've sold a lot just people talking.
You're slacking.
What's that?
You're slacking.
No, but they were made and it takes me time to make them. So I've been selling to people I know, and then people they know want some, and so there's been enough so far. And I don't know if I can produce as fast as I want it. If I start selling it online, that's what I'm worried about, because I don't want people to be waiting or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is, so it's Fashion Mood, F-A, how do you call the hyphenated F-A hyphenated S-H-I-O-N M-O-O-D.
Oh, okay. What's your Poshmark?
Same.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on Mercury too.
You're on what?
Mercury.
What's that?
It's another website like Poshmark.
To like
except that
stuff?
they take only 10%. Poshmark take 30% out of your sale. So that's, yeah.
It's capitalism. All right,
so
well.
I try to do both.
Well, thank you, Fatiha, for blessing me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, real interesting to learn about your upbringing in France and your journey in America. And everybody, please go to her Poshmark and purchase something. Support this woman. She's just like you. You know what I'm saying? Struggles and just trying to make it. And do you have any last words? Want to say anything to your French people in French?
In France?
Yes.
Au revoir tout le monde. C'est un plaisir.
Tell everyone in France to listen to this podcast and make it #1 in France. Say that, but say it in French.
Alors, vous devez absolument écouter Everyday Celebrity Podcast. That's the season 2, and you should definitely check it out.
In French, say it in French.
Oh, that's the wine. It should make me speak French though, right?
Yes. All right, say it again, but in French.
Okay, I have to focus.
Yes.
Alors, regardez et écoutez Everyday Celebrity Podcast. C'est la saison 2 et abonnez-vous et écoutez, c'est super.
Well, thank you and au revoir.
Au revoir.
You.